If an athlete could only eat one meal for the rest of their life, I would be recommending a poke bowl. And the reason for that is when I talk to elite athletes, or to be honest, anyone and everyone, I've got a formula which will literally transform your life on how you're eating and how you'll feel, which is looking at getting 4 key elements at each meal. And those 4 elements are protein, which the most important reason for that is appetite control. It's also really important for like any kind of recovery in the body or any structure, muscles, skin, hair, nails, etc. We want our whole grain carbohydrates, which are our body's main fuel source, not just physically, but for our brain as well. And also our gut health, the high fiber foods our little good gut bugs absolutely love and feast away on and grow more of the good stuff, so we love that. The colours, which are our fruits and our veggies. We know that only 8% or less than of Australian adults are eating enough veggies and less than 5% of Australian children, which is quite a mind-blowing stat. So for me, simply saying if a meal or snack is only brown and white, it's not complete. It's a way for you to have on your radar to look at your breakfast. You know, are you just a cereal and milk kind of person, or an eggs and toast? You know, at your lunch, are you just buying like a burrito bowl and getting some chicken and brown rice but not too much salad? Like if that's you, just start by looking at how you can add some colour. So for me, poke bowl's stacking up on all 3 of those at the moment. Protein from, let's go with salmon, because I'm going to talk about healthy fats next. We've got our brown rice or quinoa, or ideally a blend of, so fibre, carbs, love that. So do our gut bugs. Lots of colours, we're ticking off, you know, a component of that vegetable intake. And that as well helps fill us up. It's the food that also helps us feel good, both instantaneously and also just across the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, and across our life. These are the foods that give us the micronutrients. So, you know, the difference with like a protein and a carbohydrate and our last element, which I'll chat on soon, fat, these are what we call macronutrients. So they actually provide energy to the body. Every gram we consume gives us physical energy, or kilojoules or calories, you might have heard the term. Whereas our micronutrients are like our vitamins and our minerals, our antioxidants, and they don't have an energy value. So when we consume them, we're not consuming calories or kilojoules, but we're consuming micronutrients which help with the breakdown and functions. They're what we call cofactors of those other big ones. So, you know, for most people, I don't go into that detail. So if that's too much for you, just go framework, protein, carbohydrates, whole grain ones, colors, and lucky last, we want our healthy fats. So for me, my one meal would be a poke bowl if this was a matter of life or death. Obviously, I'm not saying everyone go and eat only a poke bowl for the rest of your life, but explaining why that would be my answer to that question if I had to pick one. Okay, so a meat kebab. Here I'm gonna have to give my little diplomatic, you know, is this, we're cooking at home with some like souvlaki skewers, or are we, you know, 2 a.m. at the corner shop getting a bit of a greasy kebab? So quality definitely matters. The thing I like about a kebab is it represents, you do get a representation of all 4 elements. So you get protein from the meat, preferably a good quality one that you're cooking at home. You know, you get some carbohydrates from the wrap. Again, preferably you're choosing a whole grain one to get the whole grain, otherwise those white ones are really refined. Tabbouleh, salads, we're getting colors, and then depending what sauces we're putting on top, we're getting some fat. So that might be controversial that I've kind of said that, but yeah, preferably cooking it at home, choosing good quality meat and wraps, and you know, there could be worse things. So an omelette is great. I definitely think people, you know, this is a meal, for some people a snack. An omelette on its own with eggs and veggies only represents 3 of the elements. So we get some protein, really important. We get some healthy fats naturally in the egg yolk, so we get that. We get some colors because we've added veggies to our omelette. But I'm going to assume that we're serving that with a nice good quality sourdough to kind of complete that meal. So in that context, great, yes, eat it, very good option. It's definitely true what they say, not all salads are created equally, and while a chicken Caesar salad has a representation from each of the elements, it's going to be one that I say we want to limit because it's packed full of fats, but not the good ones. Often the bad saturated ones we want to limit, and it doesn't necessarily have much diversity there. So grilled chicken, that's pretty good. Too much fat in my opinion. The croutons are deep fried, so we're not really ideally aiming for that. And then there's a whole heap of lettuce. So for me, that's a no. Let's replace that with a nice grainy salad, lots of colors, lean proteins, maybe some falafels, dress it in some extra virgin olive oil. All the elements, delicious, nutritious, love it.